Hello everybody, it's Tech Tipster here, and this week I had to put everything on hold because the HTC Vive has arrived. I was lucky enough to get my Vive delivered here in Australia on the 7th of April, and I thought I'd share some of my first thoughts and opinions on the experience, along with a few videos to showcase my joys and pains over the last few days. Before I do get into the details, if I was to summarize the Vive experience with one word, that word would be amazing. The Vive has been everything I hoped it would be, and all the negatives that you may have seen in the press or other people's reviews are drowned out once you're in the experience of VR. So with that said, I'll start my first thoughts and impressions with some advice to people who have not yet received their Vive, and that is to plan your play area. My PC is tucked away in a small study which is about 3 by 3.5 meters, and that's not enough room with a desk to play with the Vive no matter how much stuff I take out of this room. So what I did was move out into the living room and set up my computer next to the TV, giving me about a 1.5 by 4 or 5 meter long play space. I told the missus to leave for the weekend to let the men play, but what I didn't realize was I was not ready to play. The first issue I had was thinking I could mount the lighthouses somewhere on top of a shelf or a tripod. This didn't really work, so I went out and purchased 2 lighting stands from a camera shop. These cost me about $40 each and gave me nice high 2 meter plus mounting spots for each box. With that sorted, I thought I was ready to go, but then I found out I only had one HDMI output on my 980 Ti, and the DVI to HDMI converter I was expecting to use would not give me a display upon booting into Windows. With all the shops closed, it was a long night until I was able to pick up a HDMI to DisplayPort adapter, freeing up the HDMI for the Vive headset. So now we were finally gaming. The Steam VR tutorials are great and guide you through the process beautifully. And even though they are only tutorials, I did feel the immersion as soon as I put that headset on. Speaking of the headset, it does fit pretty well, but there could be some improvements. The cables that come in and up over the rear of your head into the headset are fine when they're laying flat against your head, but occasionally when you're gaming and moving around, these things can start to twist, which does become a bit uncomfortable. I'm looking forward to when these things do become wireless, but for the meantime, it's not too bad and doesn't really detract from the experience once you are immersed. With my setup and environment, the tracking was spot on, and the first thing you will do once you get in the Rift is appreciate that one-to-one tracking on those remotes for a couple of minutes because it really is cool. The screen door effect is there, but I did not even notice it until about half an hour in after my excitement levels had dropped and I was really thinking about what was happening rather than just enjoying the experience. When you do come out of the headset, you do realize how high res real life is, so I am looking forward to some higher res screens on the next version. Now, one other thing that you may have heard of, and what I think is the most important aspect of the experience, is the sweet spot of the lenses. When you have text and objects in this sweet spot, everything is easy to read and see, and life is good. As soon as things go outside the sweet spot or you're looking in your peripheral vision, you get that blurriness on text and images. This leads to that unnaturalness of moving your head to see things rather than just simply shifting your eye gaze. You do adjust for it though, but I would rate a larger sweet spot as my number one thing I would want on version 2, even ahead of a higher resolution screen. It really was that important for me. Another big positive was that I did not get any eye strain like I did on the DK2 back in the day. I'm not sure if this is due to the frame rate, the lenses, or the higher resolution, but it definitely is a pleasure to use and I didn't come out feeling tired, cross-eyed, or anything weird like that. So how about the games? I think my favorite game so far has been Budget Cuts, probably because it got me moving, ducking, and hiding more than anything else so far. And the way their mechanics work, I very rarely hit the chaperone boundary, which really helps with the experience. All the Valve release games are really cool. You've probably seen a lot of VR labs and that is really awesome and there's lots of stuff to do in there. Job Simulator is also really cool and a bit of good fun. I'm looking forward to going back in and testing all the jobs out. I can't wait to go back into Fantastic Contraption and build more things. The interface is so intuitive and it's really easy to just build what you want and showcases how good VR is for these type of things. So that's it guys. First impressions are really good and I do think VR is here to stay. I'm really looking forward to what the Rift will bring to the table. So if you do want to hear about my thoughts when I do get one, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Leave me a thumbs up if you did like the vid, leave me a comment if you didn't like it. And that's it. We're done here and I'll see you guys next time.